You came out with this question of whether they hike or whether they don't hike is kind of not the issue anymore. It's when do they start cutting? Tiffany, from your vantage point, what is the answer?
Yeah, well, I think it's going to really depend on how quickly this situation escalates. Really the issue here is how tight are financial conditions. And clearly what this whole situation has revealed is that they're actually really quite tight. I think that there is a lot of question around that, because, that maybe the impact on the economy or the labor market was a bit slower than some had expected, but these things happen in a nonlinear fashion. And so I think what this situation revealed is that actually financial conditions are quite tight. And I think the question for central bankers will be, have they tightened so dramatically as a result of the bank stress, which is going to put pressure on lending? Have they tightened so much that that maybe now the Federal Reserve needs to think about interest rate cuts? Unfortunately, I don't think they're there yet because we're still discussing if they're going to do 25 or not. But certainly, if history is a guide, at least, when they do get to the top of a rate hiking cycle and they pause, usually the next move is down.
Tiffany, if credit conditions are so tight, why are we not seeing it in the data? Why is it not percolating through to a loss of momentum? Why am I getting letters from people saying you clearly haven't been out, and seeing everybody eating out and flying around and doing things and getting jobs? So where's the disconnect?
Yeah, well, I think the issue here is that, again, like what's happening in the banking sector right now is a bit more of a leading indicator. And we look at the actual data, that's kind of what has been happening. And again, as I said, these things kind of happen in a nonlinear way. In other words, the economy doesn't tend to just slow down, in a stable way, right? It kind of slows down, and then at some point, it really starts to deteriorate. And obviously, that's kind of when we go into a recession. So I think we've sort of been suggesting that the recession probabilities are very high as a result of how fast central banks have moved over the last year in order to get inflation down. We still think that. If anything, the developments in the banks over the last couple of weeks have probably pulled forward those recession probabilities somewhat.